Hello and welcome to Millena the Talk Show. Today I'm going to be dealing with a subject that at some point every one of us has encountered, and that is dealing with the subject of self-absorbed and apathetic people. I'm going to be talking about this with my very special guests, Mrs. Kimberly Miles and Mr. G. Eric Miles, and we'll be right back after this.
You need to watch this woman's show.
Welcome to Millena the Talk Show, where we talk about things that everyone thinks about but rarely ever says.
And I want you to make sure you tune in with Millena, because she's a friend of mine. Keep it real.
Welcome to Millena the Talk Show. I am here today to deal with the very important subject of self-centered and apathetic people. And I'd like to welcome my guests today, Mrs. Kimberly Miles and Mr. G. Eric Miles. Come on out! Yay! Thank you. Thank you guys for being here.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for inviting us.
Thank you.
It's my pleasure to have you here. You are a fantastic super couple. And let's just get right in.
Okay.
Here at Millena the Talk Show, we get comfy and we get real.
All right.
So
Let's do it.
That's why we're here.
Just be happy and honest and just really, really real. So I want to know the real story of how did you two meet?
Well, that's actually a pretty interesting story. It's a long story, but I'm going to give you the condensed version.
Okay.
Okay. At the time, I was in L.A. I was living in L.A. And Kimberly was in L.A. on business. And we ended up meeting in a restaurant that neither one of us had ever been in before. It was a place that had changed managements, and they had gone from being an Italian restaurant to an upscale kind of a bar restaurant.
Okay.
So I was there on the bar side, she was in the restaurant, and I guess she saw me through the cutout in the building.
I did.
And she decided that she was going to stalk me.
Oh, boy!
No, she made it a point to make sure she could meet me that night, and that we would end up in a conversation. And once we ended up in that conversation, we just kind of gravitated toward each other. Plus, at one point during the evening, after all the meals were served, they moved all the tables away, set up a DJ booth, and it turned into a club.
Dancing.
Yeah,
Dancing.
and we both love to dance. So,
True.
Yeah, and so we ended up dancing all night, until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, and then we ended up back at her hotel. She was staying at the Fairmont, and we ended up back there and talking until like 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
There's a lot more that
Yeah,
went
there's
on
a whole lot
between
more that
but
went on in that. But,
in a condensed version.
yeah, this is the
Okay.
condensed version.
Okay.
So-
Well, wow.
Oh, yeah.
And then you've been together ever since.
Well,
It's just been...
actually, she was supposed to leave the next morning because they were finished. She had a business partner there, another woman, and they were supposed to leave the next morning to go back to Vegas. But she ended up, and that was on a Friday. They were supposed to leave. She ended up leaving on the following Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
I lost my American Express card, and he said he would take me, and that was back in the day when Southwest would allow you to move your flight. So we got my American Express, and then several days later, I moved my plane. Yeah.
Wow, but it's
a great story.
That's
Yeah.
a wonderful story.
Yeah. And it was exactly at this time of year. We met on the
Really?
eve of December 23rd.
Oh, nice.
So it even makes it a little
Yeah,
bit more special.
Wow.
So yeah, we're about to celebrate our anniversary of meeting each other, which is really our anniversary because
Yeah.
we've been together since the day we met.
Yeah.
Even though we
that's
were
beautiful.
long distance for about 15 months until I moved to Vegas, we have been together since day one.
Wow.
And so it's 15 years come this December.
15 years.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Woo.
Not bad for a stalker, girl. And I did it in a unique way.
Oh, okay, well now, so now that's not our topic today, but I want to know, how did you do it?
Well, actually, it is kind of fits into the topic because
Okay.
she is the antithesis of apathy. And so when she sees something or knows she wants something, she is going after it.
I am.
Love it. I love
And that's what she did. And that's
Wow.
one of the primary reasons I'm with her. And one of the reasons, or one of the things I enjoy most about her is her attitude. And she just goes after whatever she is or wants or it wants to accomplish. She's going to go after it 110%.
I love
and there is no apathy there at all.
Wow.
And so I can only say that you know
I'm
she's
good about that.
she does exemplify, the woman, or there's a plaque that I got her a few years back that says, she believed she could, so she did.
Oh, I
And,
love it.
And that describes
When
her.
you gave me that one.
That
Yes.
describes her to a T.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, now Webster's describes self-absorbed as a person who is excessively concerned with him or herself and his or her own needs. They are overtly centered on themselves. Now, Webster's also describes apathetic, or defines apathetic as having or showing little or no feeling or emotion. Spiritless. Now, we know Kimberly is definitely not that.
That is not Kimberly.
Lots of spirit, you know how I'm feeling when I'm feeling it.
Yes.
Oh yeah. You
Yes.
know what she's feeling when she's feeling
absolutely.
it. So yeah, there is no apathy there.
No.
And it's interesting because some people may think that Kimberly is self-absorbed, but I don't see it that way. I see it as self-love, and there is a difference between self-absorption and self-love.
Yes.
And so because you can never truly love someone else until you love yourself first.
That is true.
Yeah, and
That is
so-
true.
And so I see Kimberly going through a period of really, especially after her childhood, and some of the things that happened to her that can stunt your growth emotionally. And can hold you back from becoming, knowing who you truly are. Now that she has become more self-aware, she is going, to me, through that period of appreciating who she truly is, and being that.
Okay.
And then it's not about being self-absorbed, it's about appreciating who you truly are.
Who you truly are and
Yeah.
loving yourself.
Yes.
So, is this a new transition? Is this something new?
Well, I would
Or
say
is
no
it-
because I started it when I met him and attracted him.
Okay.
Because while he calls it stalking, I was mentally sending him messages. A seat became available at the bar. They moved our big champagne container right to sit exactly there, and I placed myself perfectly and let him do all the work. So I do it in a unique way, right? They always say location, location, location.
Wow.
Makes
Hear
it
that? Oh my gosh.
That's the
That
first thing,
is-
positioning yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it happens.
Yes, and you have to be ready. You have to be open to those new experiences.
And seeing
and
exactly
people.
how you want it to happen.
Yeah.
So I knew he had to approach me. I just made myself perfectly located to make it a little easier. And the people that we met actually introduced us, so people we were speaking with pulled us together and did all the work for me. And then it naturally happened, and he was in charge. So
Okay.
being an in-charge woman,
Yes.
and I was single till I was 39, and that's when I met him. So never planned on being married.
Really?
Or even being so self-absorbed, I'm not sharing nothing. It's mine.
She's still
How
that way.
does that sound?
She's still that way.
Well, he has his own bank account. I have my own bank account.
Okay,
And
well,
I
I
think it
mean,
works.
that's-
And then we have our Bill bank account at work.
I've always thought that's the ideal way.
That- that-
is,
that
right?
Listen, we
You don't
are
have
a
to hide
couple.
shoes in the trunk and stuff like that.
Listen, even though we're a couple, we're still individuals.
Yes.
And so a lot of people, I shouldn't say a lot of people, but some people, when they get into a couple, they lose their identity.
They do. They do.
And that is not going to happen with either one of us because both of us have strong personalities.
Yeah.
And we are going to be who we are.
Wonderful.
And so as long as we are respectful of that, she's going to be her, I'm going to be me. and I respect who she is. She respects who I am. Whatever happens from there is going to be okay. We'll work it out. We'll be able to, even if we end up screaming or yelling about it, we are going to work it out.
That's beautiful.
Because we both respect each other's right to be who we are.
Yes.
So
it starts with self-love and respect. Self-love and respect. First of oneself and then of others. That's the key.
Yes.
That is
It
the
is
key.
the key.
So when you come across, and I'm sure you guys are an awesome power couple. Quote unquote power couple.
Thank you.
You're fantastic. So I know that you have come across other couples who are not as evolved and who are completely self-absorbed and apathetic about everything other than what's going on with them and their house and their kids and their pets and their vacations, and like all they want to do is show you pictures of their stuff and I'll talk about them. And how do you as a couple deal with those couples?
Well, I'll answer this. So I have a lot of those that are business people as well. And truthfully, when they're a client, they're paying for my time. So very gratitude and allow them to go through the entire piece and really listen to what they're saying. Because if, I know you have your opinion, but when I'm in a place of doing business with these type of people, which, by the way, I have a big piece of that in me, right? We're explaining how I am. He sees it as different wording. Over time, I expect that as I'm taking a few step backs to reach out my hand to them and walk forward where they're at exactly in their positioning right now, to be open-minded, to read between the lines of what they're saying. Because they're still, like me in many ways, have the outside feelings of the possession that define me, which really don't. We think the clothes we wear, our hairstyles, which I love. I take selfies. I have that self-absorbed thing. I get in trouble for that. Vanity and some pretentiousness. Yeah, but looking at where I was on my journey and where I am today and being a little bit more open-minded, that they feel that they're getting filled up for that. And truthfully, as I watch them evolved, and I do over time, because I have clients that are over 10 years with our services, I watch them change because they don't get filled up on the stuff.
So
Right.
you can,
And then you start aging, and then you start realizing as stuff starts to droop and stuff starts to move around, and you're not moving as quickly or doing the things that you could when you were there then.
right.
So
Yeah.
it starts moving a little bit differently. So making sure that I'm coming from a place as one in the business situation. But I also say personal is professional. If I can't have a regular conversation with you on a respectful amount, I will not allow the client to come into our business from a business standpoint. But I also learn from a lot of our professional relationships, and depending on where it starts, on business or professional first, I always take it back home from where we started. So if I'm uncomfortable with how you do business, I won't allow myself to do business with you. And we've created that together as a couple. How I've evolved in my business is having Eric help stretch me, give me true, authentic feedback, how I'm showing up. Do you really want to be seen and experienced that way, babe? I mean, this is something that he says to me, and I go, that's a great question. Yes or no, or it changes after I think about it, or it happens a few times, because when something shows up 2 or more times, I'm going, I better take a look at that. I better listen to that. Right?
Right.
Does that make sense?
It
We
makes
had a
perfect
real
sense.
authentic conversation.
Yeah, we did.
We did.
We did.
So that's where I felt why I'm grateful to be here, because you were open enough to hear it.
Well, you
Yeah.
know what? That conversation that we had, it changed me. It absolutely changed me. I mean, you're welcome to share if you'd like to share with everyone about the conversation.
Well, I think that's making it real condensed, again, would be that you gave me some feedback, and what I heard you say is that I may have been, or you may have thought that I was prejudiced, and at the time you didn't know I was in an interracial couple situation, because I called you out on something that I wasn't comfortable with on timing, because I own the payroll company, TPC Payroll HR, and I'm doing things in human resources. I take myself really serious in human resources, and that's us. So I had saved you a seat, right? Right next to me, which you didn't know, but you knew the chair was there. You weren't saying that. You gave me some feedback that I wasn't treating you equally, so you felt. And again, you didn't know Eric at that time, and you spoke to someone else that's on my team about it instead of coming directly to me, which is another beep. But at the same time, when we talked it through, you were so open, and then I pointed out with you how which all the things you were telling me what you don't like was exactly what you did to me.
Exactly.
You didn't see it.
I didn't see it. I had no idea about any of that. And it was just, and that's why you are just so remarkable to me, because that was that was a big thing of, I don't like, if there's an issue, if there's a challenge, then let's talk about it. That's part of what the show is. Let's just talk about the things we think about and never say. And so it took a lot for me to just say, you know what, I don't even know you. I barely knew, I didn't know that you had saved the seat. I didn't know any of that. And so, things go on in our minds.
I married a hot black guy, right?
We created a bunch of stuff in our head. And so, but I saw something in you. I saw something so wonderful and so special in you. And I said, I want to talk to you about this, because I don't feel, let's just talk. And in that conversation, oh my gosh, that was the best conversation.
Well, you've seen a piece of yourself
Yes.
in me.
Yes.
So you were thinking something that you needed to work on, and you didn't see that you seen in me.
Exactly.
And then once we played with it in the exact example, and we don't do business together, we're starting a community give relationship together. We're starting, and then poof, we're here on the show.
Exactly.
And that's why when you take a breath and you talk to the people of where they're at, then at that moment, you can usually walk through it and see it in where they're coming from.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I learned that. I learned so much from you.
Well, thank you, and I learned from you too.
Oh, really?
Help me be a better person, of course. If you're not givers,
Well, listen, this is how we learn in life. This is how we learn through social interaction, is we see things in other people that are in ourselves.
Yes.
Some that we like, we're attracted to. Some that we don't like, we react to. And so, but it all comes from what Kimberly was talking about earlier about how people see the world. And a lot of it has to do with the capitalist mentality of materialism is a definition of who you are, and it really isn't. It can't be you. When you are defining yourself from the outside in, and that's what materialism does. Everything is without.
Yes.
And so when you understand that life is happening from you as opposed to you, then you start to live your true self, and you live from the outside in, and you start to see things in other people that you are attracted to, and things that are in other people that you see in yourself that you don't like. And then you can, at that point, it becomes, how do you approach it? How do you address it with them? And it just comes down to this.
Yeah.
Real conversation.
Real conversation, which is what we are having right now. And so we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with more from Kimberly Miles and G. Eric Miles. Stay right there.
It's game time.
Welcome back to Millena the Talk Show. I am here today with the fabulous Kimberly Miles and the fabulous Mr. G. Eric Miles, and we are talking about a subject that everybody goes through and knows people who are self-absorbed and apathetic. But we have a different twist on it today, but I'm going to take it back a little bit because I need everyone to know exactly how amazing and fantastic you are. This fabulous lady, she owns the payroll company. Literally the payroll company, TPC. She is the founder and the owner. Her baby, her brainchild, and it has grown monumentally, and you are just an outstanding, fabulous businesswoman.
Thank you.
And now her now husband is in the business. They're in the business together. And so, Kimberly, tell me, when you first started, what made you decide to start a payroll company, and then how did you deal with, because I know you talked a little bit before about dealing with apathetic and self-absorbed people in the business that you have to deal with, but can you go into a little bit more about what made you decide that you wanted to do payroll, and then how did you get past those individuals?
Well, I was going to go into mortgage sales. I was working for a big bloat national brand, and I traveled the country as a trainer for them.
Oh, wow.
So I started out in Detroit, Michigan, where I was born and raised, and I talked my way into this company that only required a 4-year degree, and I was the first person they ever hired without a 4-year degree.
Oh,
they were desperate. I delivered numbers. I delivered results, and then I had this amazing experience and kind of rose above it all to top 3% in the country.
Wow.
And then it wasn't in line with my morals. Ethically, I became witnesses to things that I wish upon no one. So when I see things that aren't fair or right or demeaning, again, like we talked about earlier in the show, is I get laser beam focused. I bring all that out in my mind. I see exactly what I want to happen. And so I attracted 2 investors. I chose one, and in 2000, the payroll company was birthed. It has since merged from that, from the payroll company turned into TPC, Payroll HR Consultants, because I do a lot of consultings. That's where my gift is create a culture or a workflow that's unique to many businesses, people versus profit instead of the other way around. So when I look at my bottom line, it involves the energy of the people that I work with, which really has helped elevate me to these amazing successes and exponential growth. Still surviving 18 years as of last month in November.
18 years?
18
Congratulations.
Years. Yeah, no, that's a milestone.
Wow,
Get
that
it? Lots of smiles. It's a milestone.
Yes.
It is.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. Yes,
That's one
it
of the
is.
reasons I married him. I love the name.
I love it. Smiles.
Yes.
The Miles smiles.
It's funny because in college I had a friend who used to call me Smiles Miles.
Aw.
And so it does work well with both of us because we have huge smiles.
You do.
Yeah.
You really
So,
both do.
Yeah, and we love to laugh.
Yeah.
And so,
You got to keep laughing.
You do.
Even when you're running across some of the most toughest time, like getting over this economic downturn that we've had over the last decade, which we all know now. I mean, if you watch The Big Short, it explains it in detail, the movie that came out a few years ago, on what happened and how we were actually set up to do it. Surviving that economic downturn is what really elevated my confidence in trusting my gut. I was asked several times by many large national publicly traded companies to sell out. And one of them was when I married G in 2007 because he wanted to kick it on the beach with flip-flops, right? He had enough going on to do that. He was in LA still. He was like, I don't like Las Vegas. And I said, you know what? Well, I'm in love with you. I never had this before. I'm marrying this guy. Let's do it. Went back to my team and they said, please don't do it.
Oh.
Please don't do it. And I'm so glad they said that. And at that moment, I realized it wasn't about the money. It was about the relationships that I created.
Yes.
And through that time, when everybody could do anything they possibly could to take us out because of the relationships I had in the community in Las Vegas, I said, if this goes down, then I'm going down with it. I'll always figure it out. And I didn't go down. In fact, just the opposite happened. I definitely made the right choice by standing behind the people that did the work. Without them, I wouldn't be here today. So much an honor around the human resources that help evolve me and catapult me to where I am right now.
Yes.
So it's an example of what I showed up as taking care of myself, but I consider others when I make a decision. So I take at least 2 on the crawl, make sure it's good for us all when I make a decision.
I love that. So take 2 on the crawl, make sure it's good for us all.
Absolutely.
I like that. Did you hear that? Take 2 on the crawl, make sure it's good for us all.
So huge.
Thanks so much.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's a growth. It's a growth
That
piece.
is growth.
Yeah, and so now we're processing payroll in 38 states.
38
Yes,
states.
38 states, yes, it's
Wow.
wonderful.
12 more to go.
Trademark. Yep, we got our trademark. TPC is trademark.
Yay.
Yes, there's a few other TPCs that we've helped elevate in certain areas across the country. And it looks like we're going to open up TPC Detroit. Actually, it's in Livonia, Michigan. This 2019 opportunity is very exciting, so I can go back and get all of my clients right in the hood from Detroit City. Super excited for this. To go back and say hello, to be where I am on this journey, and to say you can do whatever it is you want to do once you change your mind.
Yes, once you change your mind and once you
you
change
can-
your attitude.
And you can go back home again.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
so-
For free, I get to write it all up. You would think it would be by design. Right?
Right.
True.
Thank you. Well, now you told me in our conversation that when we talk about self-absorbed and apathetic people,
Yeah.
that you used to be one of these people, and I for the life of me, I can't see it.
Yeah,
I don't understand how you, this beautiful creature full of energy and life and love, how you used to be all about you. I don't get it. I don't see it. I don't believe you. I think you're telling a story.
Well, I still have it in me.
No.
You know, I still have it in me.
No.
Of course I do. Of course I do.
Eric, does she
I'm
still
telling
have it?
you.
Yeah, she still got it in her. Yeah.
I think he reminds me occasionally and go, hey, you still
Yeah.
got that, honey.
Still got that thing.
Every once in a while. But she has done so much work on herself, though, and since I've known her.
Okay.
And it started before I met her, that she was already doing work on herself physically, mentally, of course. But as we grew together, we started to nudge each other into more productive and higher elevation or higher frequency practices like yoga, meditation,
Seminars, becoming facilitators and
Right.
working with children. And
So we have been doing things every year to challenge ourselves and to better ourselves, because that's all we can do at this point is to, keep saying that we're going to be better than we were the day before.
Huge.
And so and it can be small steps, it can be huge steps. It doesn't really matter. As long as you are striving to be better than you were the day before, your successes are going to be successes. And so big or small.
That's
And
so
that's,
true.
yeah, and that's why we have a successful relationship, because how many marriages do you see? I gained the weight, I'm not going to school, I'm not being creative. All of those things are creating an I'm not married anymore. I married you because you look like this and are like this. Sure, we know we're going to age, but why would I let myself go?
Yeah, I
And
don't.
yeah, it's a mind gym is what I like to say. As long as I'm working out my mind, I'm going to seminars, we're elevating each other, and it's a, it's like a vehicle, never a race to a destination, because I don't believe a destination exists.
Right, it doesn't.
Right.
It's not, it
It's just
doesn't.
a
It
journey.
keeps
Going.
it's this
Just a
journey,
journey.
right?
Keeps going. Now, you guys, and part of what you said was that you share what you have, and you guys open your home to people at Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's so wonderful. Can you share a little bit more about that?
Yeah, we were in the paper last year. They did a big article on us because we believe in giving thanks versus what the holiday has become, Thanksgiving. So first of all, we don't eat turkey.
That's right.
So that's the first thing. So that kind of switches it up, but we like to really be in a giving thanks mode every day. So those who aren't or don't understand that there are adults and humans out there that have a heart without having to get something back to help them. We've had many people that are homeless, which is really the focus under the age of 25. Proven, Dr. Lisa Drett, she is an amazing doctor, psychiatry, and on the National Board for Children and Adolescents. To help understand that we don't even fully develop our mind until we're 25. So you can't even make an educated decision until you're 25. But the laws in the state of Nevada say parents don't have any responsibility after the age of 18. And so have you met some 18-year-olds lately and see what they're capable or not capable of?
Yes.
What does their jump board look like? And then you take a look at the family as a whole. Granted, there's some one-offs that there might be a uniqueness to them or have a little bit more, I call different abilities. They might have a learning different ability. They may have to see pictures in a different way. They may need a little extra attention. But prescribing drugs to help them get through that when it's really just some extra energy that we have encountered, that more energy more out in the nature, hiking, biking, running?
Yeah, well, we work with some kids that are considered homeless in the Las Vegas community, and we've been working with them. I'm a drum circle facilitator, and so I go down and I do intentional drumming with them, healing drumming, because drumming you can heal yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and in the years, the 3 or 4 years that I've been doing this now with the kids, I see how vibration is everything. Energy is everything.
It really is.
It is. Everything that exists in this world is energy, even us. And so when you can raise your vibrational frequency and use drumming to help you change yourself, you can transform yourself in so many different ways. And what I found, though, through working with the kids is all they really want is adults who care.
Who care?
That's all they really are looking for. Adults who care, who will listen.
Who will show up
Right.
consistently.
Yes.
Right.
There's too many people in our lives that fall off
Right.
or don't seem like they care, unengaged, and don't participate. And we've been showing up now, since 2007. I was involved when it was under Center for Independent Living. This is Shannon West, part of Help of Southern Nevada Homeless Youth. But we now have 36 other organizations that we really infiltrate ourselves with, so we don't create duplication in the community. There's enough money to go around, but you can't get the same grant for the same service. So because I've become this boss lady in Vegas, I've understand how you maneuver through the system, and I want to help others be able to do that, whether it be other women becoming, and other men. Women stand up to me because a lot of the men were coddled in by their fathers, and women didn't have that opportunity. They were brought up to be homemakers or a yoga teacher. Not there's any disrespect to any of that, because some of the most amazing things is our breath. That's what brought us into this world. However, when you start dealing with finance and you start understanding where the money comes from and where the money goes to, and learning how to run boards and elevate other people, then you can start making choices around the material things. And sure, we could be driving a Bentley. We live in an amazing house, but it's a 2-bedroom house. We have 5-day max for people to stay in the house. We decided to put this big. We do 5-day max.
That's right. It's like
I love it.
5-day max, right, to stay in the house, right? But we put it in this open area that you got to experience this past week.
It's beautiful, fabulous, it's
Nature,
amazing.
view, mountains, because what did we say you have to do? So if we're not doing it and living it, quit telling me what to do. Let me show you what I do. Let me show you how I live. Let me show you what I went through. I was 397 pounds.
What?
Yeah, I got
Look at
pictures.
you.
Yeah.
I thought you said you were hot a few minutes ago.
Yeah, I am
You are
hot. So going through change by changing our eatings, it starts with changing your mind.
Yeah,
So
it does.
when you come into that self-absorbedness, when I was looking at other people in a way of judgment or some type of disparity or dislike, I started realizing all of those things live inside of me. I see things in other people that is a mirror match of me and why I focus on it. So what's the first thing I want to do to create change?
Change yourself.
Go like this. Hey, what are you doing? What are you saying? Erase. I use my hand as an eraser. And that's what helps. So as I grow the payroll company, TBC Payroll HR Consultants, and able to go in to consult people who I still am a part of, like them, then they listen to me because they go, oh my God, you've changed so much over the last year. What are you doing right? How is your company being so successful? How are you still married after this economic downturn? Right? Because after the downturn, the first people think is what's the number one thing? It's money first, why they break up, and what's the second thing? Sex. Those are the two things why people get divorced.
Wow.
Not enough of, they don't like of, or they're desiring somebody else, but it's usually something they're lacking in themselves. But money is the first reason why people fight and break up.
Wow.
And then all the other things, Anna, because maybe you're not desirable. Maybe Eric gains 100 pounds. Maybe he's not keeping fit.
And he
I
can
didn't
do
learn
that because the finances aren't there. It's a snowball effect. It starts
Well,
with
we
money.
started pulling out our crystal and having candlelight dinners at home. We quit going out to dinner. We spent more time at home, and it's something that we incorporate into our family now, which brings us back to giving thanks.
Yes.
Giving thanks and bringing people that can give us nothing back directly materialistically, but how full do we get, honey?
Well, the thing is, I realized at some point that I am helped most when I am helping other people. Because a lot of times when I help people, especially if I'm just talking with them, they're talking about something, an issue in themselves that I have gone through. You know, because I'm older. I'm a lot older than most people think. People look at me and they think I'm in my 40s, my late 30s or my 40s, and I'll be 62 on my birthday, and so I have seen a lot more. And I've done a lot of things in my life, but I've gotten the most satisfaction, the most growth, the most insight from helping other people, and because I see in them me.
Wow.
And I see me in them.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, and so now it becomes my responsibility to help people who are in a situation that I may have been in when I was younger, and somebody helped me.
And we focus on
thank you.
under the age of 25. Because we're more likely to assist them before they can make the educated decisions at the age of 25. So that's our focus.
Okay.
Especially women and children.
Now, I know that we're almost out of time, unfortunately.
Fly by.
Come on, we got more time. We got nothing but time.
I know, just nothing but time. But I did want to take just a few moments to talk about how we actually met and came together.
Okay.
It was for the amazing Shiro Foundation.
Yeah, that's right.
That's where this energy and this love all started, because of Shiro.
Yeah.
So please tell everyone about Shiro and what us have planned on February the 9th.
Super excited. So
Yes.
boldly elevating awareness, supporting humanity, equality, rights, and oneness. Once we pulled together as a team, both men and women, and support girls under 25 who've been exploited, and we're talking modern day sex slavery, we're talking pedophilism, it doesn't look like what we think it is, so we bring an awareness once a year to the gala, which is a masquerade gala, which is fabulous, and this year is Alice in Wonderland. And things are not always as they appear. So it'll be at the World Market Center, partnering with Cirque du Soleil, partnering with the World Market as one of our key sponsors, America's Federal Credit Union, Cosmopolitan, Nevada State College, Nevada State Bank, Link Technologies, Southwest Medical, many others that have taken a position to make this all happen. We just landed, we're super excited, with the Saks Fifth Avenue, and we just landed Armani YSL to donate. This isn't $1 million party that we're taking out of the mouths of the people we need to help. This is donation. It's one of the few organizations that aren't paying high dollars to have these events to raise awareness. In fact, World Market Center had an issue right in front of their building with a gal under the age of 25 who was abducted, which gave them the initiative to help us. So I hope everybody comes. It's $125 until December 31st. We have 600 seats that we can max out at. It'll be super tight, but it's super entertainment. You will learn why you're entertained. There's also mocktail bars. That's one of the few events that you have where everybody's not completely hammered on libation.
Right.
But there is libations for you to purchase at $20 a drink if you want that. And all of those proceeds, thank you so much, so grateful, will go back to the Shiro Foundation when you have a libation. So we hope you come for the entertainment and the fun, but most of all, learn something. Get trained.
Right.
Yes.
And know how to create safety for yourself and others, create awareness, and have some real talk.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Well, thank you for that. Thank you. Now, everyone, please get your tickets. How can people get their tickets to go or even donate?
SheroFoundation.org. SHERO Foundation.org. That's the easiest way, just to click on the button, hit donate, buy a ticket. Again, $125. 844-67-SHERO, SHERO, SheroFoundation.org. Get yourself a ticket before the prices go up. Super excited.
I'm so
Auction.
excited.
Any donations are appreciated.
Because it all
Super
helps.
grateful.
A wonderful
Yes.
cause. Wonderful cause. I'm so grateful to this cause for bringing us together. I am grateful. I just really am so grateful that you took the time out of your schedule today, your busy schedule, that you and your husband were able to come and spend some time with us here on my show. It really means so much.
Thank you.
Means a ton.
Thank
Yes.
you
No,
for-
what a
thank
great
you for
time. No,
inviting
this
us.
was
Yeah.
awesome.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you. And thank you for tuning in. And please follow. She's on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on Facebook. There's Shiro, and there's TPC, and Kimberly Miles, and all of that good stuff.
Yeah, no,
you
it
can
is.
find her.
TPC HR Payroll Consultants, TPC Payroll HR Consultants.com. What's really nice about us is we take funds that we make from the company and able to give back too. So that's we take a portion of our 33.3%. My accountant was yelling at us this last time, Derek, and saying, "You give so much." Yes, and we will continue
Yeah,
as we
we
grow
will
our business and
continue to
keep
do
our
that.
funds in Las Vegas.
And we can only, all of us can just learn so much from you. I know I've learned so much. I hopefully that you guys have learned a lot today. And thank you so much for tuning in. And I'll see you next time on Millena, the Talk Show.
Go Millena! Woo! Mwah. Mwah.
You need to watch this woman's show.
Welcome to Millena, the Talk Show, where we talk about things that everyone thinks about but rarely ever says.
And I want you to make sure you tune in with Millena because she's a friend of mine. Keep it real.
The Las Vegas Review-Journal is the largest and most widely read and visited news and information source in Nevada. As the region's most trusted independent news media company, the award-winning Las Vegas Review-Journal has been serving Southern Nevadans for more than 100 years. The multimedia news, information, and entertainment company owns a strong portfolio of print and digital niche products, including The Neon, Luxury Las Vegas Magazine, El Tiempo, LVRJ.com. Visit mylvrj.com today.